Spider-Man 3 got some leaks, and a bunch of other stuff is also happening.
Today is Friday, February 28th, 2025. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino, here to talk about all the video game news that has been going on this week. I'm once again traveling somewhere, so pardon the sound, but I mean, the sound's never that good in these videos. But anyway, a lot of stuff to talk about. The first thing involves a potential little trickle, a little leak of information about the next Spider-Man Insomniac game, a Spider-Man 3, if you will. Now, this game has never even
What is gonna happen with Spider-Man 3, I wonder? Because, well, Spider-Man 2 was an absolute disaster, or which better is the newest Spider-Man. Well, it was not an absolute disaster. People kind of liked it. It was woke. It was like that. It is what it is. But most people just kind of moved past that part and didn't care that much, even though it was cringe. But it was financially not a success. And if it is a financial success, then it has maybe made $5 at this point. Oh yeah, it's not looking good. And Sony said that they learned a couple of things from the disaster that was the previous Spider-Man, because it needed to sell like 10 trillion copies to be considered a success. They effectively learned that you need to go for less, and then you make more money. Which honestly, I don't think is gonna be good for the future of Spider-Man or anything Sony.
been officially really confirmed or anything, but it's kind of always been assumed. But we now have an official word from the horse's mouth. And by the horse, I mean Spider-Man himself, voice actor, the great Yuri Lowenthal. He did an interview with The Direct, which I'll link in the description down below, where he essentially teased his involvement in the next game and kind of clarified some things. So, light spoilers for Spider-Man 2, but Spider-Man 2 essentially ended with Peter kind of easing up, relaxing a little bit, focusing on different things, spending more time with Mary Jane, and not passing the mantle on, but kind of taking a little bit of a back seat, focusing on his life for a while. And as someone who
Dude, was Mary Jane in Spider-Man 2 the classic MJ that we're talking about? Literally the worst girlfriend ever, besides Amber from Invincible, obviously. Like, she's fucking trash. But, Mary Jane, pretty bad, okay? The moment Peter has any problems, she's typically, I don't want to deal with this. I'll get a rich boyfriend, and when you're back on your feet, and maybe if you tell me you're Spider-Man, I'm gonna come back, and then I'm gonna dip whenever things go bad again, and I'm gonna still rely you for everything I need. Jesus, talk about fucking modern.
loves Peter Parker and reads the comics and all his trials and tribulations, sometimes it's nice to see him get rest, essentially, but also Spider-Man. You'll want him, especially for me personally, with the fact too, like that you didn't even get him for all of Spider-Man 2, the game. I mean, there was a sequence where he had a symbiote suit, so he was kind of an asshole. So I still just want more classic Peter Parker and Spider-Man. And Yuri Lowenthal said this, and I quote: "There are very few things that I can say about this game, but you have somehow landed on the one thing that I can answer, and that's that yes, Peter is not gone. He will be part of the next game, and he won't be relegated to the couch. I promise." That's cool.
Oh shit, look at that. They don't want to call it Spider-Man because everyone knows that Miles Morales is Spider-Man, but Miles Morales is Miles Morales. And Spider-Man is Peter Parker. That's who Spider-Man is. It seems like they understood this finally. Took a while, but I mean, we're getting there.
I feel like they're really hitting a stride with like how they tell the Spider-Man stories. I think 2 had some issues here and there. It wasn't as strong as the first game, but I'm excited to see what we're eventually going to get from a third game. When that third game comes, who knows? I would
I
like
fucking love the spec that Spider-Man just casually reveals that he's a reality bender and completely breaks physics.
to assume that they're very busy with some of their other leaked projects and, of course, the Wolverine game over at Insomniac. So we'll just have to wait and see for now. Did I do good? I tried really hard to not like nerd out about Spider-Man and keep it focused. Anyway, the next story also involves superheroes. Wonder Woman game was canceled. You've probably seen the headline.
Oh, that was him. I thought I'm lagging, but no, that was a part of the video.
Jason Schreier, Scooper report.
Oh no! Wonder Woman canceled. Oh no, we already talked about this. Good riddance, losers.
Broke the news. The Wonder Woman game that has been in the works for a very long time by Monolith Software is no more. And
No one cares software.
this is complete bungling and mismanagement by the parent company, Warner Brothers, in my opinion. But the bigger thing here is that not only was that project canceled, but the studio working on it has also been shut down. Warner Brothers shut down 3 studios: a support studio, Warner
Three
Brothers San
thumbs up.
Diego, as well as Player First Games, the studio that they invested in to make Multiversus, which was actually pretty decent when they just kind of shut that down, and the people working on the Wonder Woman game,
Oh, Multiverses was completely botched.
Monolith. Monolith, of course, is a legendary development studio with a lot of people working there for quite some time, with reports suggesting that they did have some leadership changes and some leadership leaving in 2021. But still, the legacy of this studio, it is such a crazy bummer to read through the games that they've worked on, from things like No One Lives Forever back in the day on PC to Condemned Criminal Origins, one of my favorite first person horror experiences ever, to Fear, the Fear franchise, the first.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so tired of these points. They're just not. I don't care. Listen, yeah, this studio made something good 15 years ago. True. Fear is something special. True. Most people are gonna say that. You just have to look at someone playing Fear for a whopping 30 seconds, and you're like, wow, this is pretty insane. But that's no longer the studio that made Fear. Okay, all the people who made Fear are now either woke or doing something else. It is what it is. So the fact that Monolith shuts down or whatever fucking studio did this, I don't even remember any longer. It doesn't matter. Because the people who made this are no longer there, and if they are no longer capable of making it.
Are you kidding me? To, of course, later on eventually go on to make Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor, another one of my favorite games.
The vast reality of this situation is very simple. That that the super majority of these studios shutting down deserve it.
With these layoffs, also are reports coming out. Developers are coming out and posting saying, "Hey, like the game wasn't in trouble or anything like."
You can't expect people to see you put sprinkles on a shit and be like, "Wow, I want to suddenly buy this shit." No.
Like that, what we were working on was actually pretty awesome, with the phrases expansive and beautiful thrown around. On Warner Brothers' part, it's definitely like a shareholder thing, and their statement is as follows.
I mean, to be fair, I do think a Wonder Woman game could be an absolute huge success because Wonder Woman and like Superman can literally rip your spine out and then use it as a whip to, murder a kindergarten. Okay? It is what it is. Wonder Woman can't theoretically do that. She's a woman. There's not a lot of morals there, you know what I'm saying?
We have had to make some very difficult decisions to structure our development studios and investments around building the best games possible with our key franchises. This is a strategic change in direction and not a reflection of these teams or the talent that consists within them. Still, it sucks ass. I will link all the sources and stuff down below if you want to read up more on this. It seems like Warner Brothers might be trying a little harder now because they do have all these things that could print money for them. Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, all these things we talk.
Game of Thrones, but on mobile, though. And, well, someone said this already, but yeah, it is, a couple of 10 years now, I think, late to actually launch Game of Thrones and be like super cool about it.
Talk about all the time, right? There's so many more. The fact that they haven't been able to get anything out the door, just literally just give the people what they want, shows to me that there are some problems at the top and really some mismanagement there. So we're just gonna have to wait and see where it goes for now. But unfortunately, we lost one of the greats with Monolith, so pour one out for them.
Next up, let's talk about the sponsor of this video. It's Vitcher. Now, we've already done
I don't know what that is, but that sounds like a blatant ripoff that you are never gonna get your money's worth out of, boys. Do not buy.
It does feel all like bad news, but we do have multiple new games announced this week that I did want to point out, like 7 games or so. So check some of these out. The first is, of course, the Pokemon Company held a Pokemon event this week, and the big reveal game-wise was Pokemon Legends ZA. This is, follow like if you're into like Pokemon Legends Arceus, stuff like that. This is the next one. It looks heavily inspired by France this time around. It still, to me, doesn't look quite.
No shit! Wait. No shit! Yeah, so maybe.
To me, doesn't look quite up to par as I think Pokemon Company is capable.
I'm sorry, no Pokemon. The last good Pokemon game was Pal World, okay? That's it. The Pokemon games are so horribly mishandled and trash. I actually want to know what's going on inside the company because when we get the story, when we get the inside scoop of why a literal money printing machine like Pokemon can't make a semi fucking even decent game ever in its existence is failing this hard. I mean, it's gonna be a crazy story. That much I can tell you for a fact. Because again, like Pokemon is one of the most mishandled franchises in gaming ever. It is just astonishing how bad they are at every choice ever.
Capable of in terms of, I don't know, other than appearances of some Pokemon I really like to see. This trailer didn't really do much to grab me personally, but still, we know it's coming to Nintendo Switch this year, 2025. Curious to see if it drops on the Nintendo Switch too, and maybe has some better performance, but we're just gonna have to wait.
Bro, imagine living in the Pokemon world. You find this little baclajan looking shit, and you're like, time to eat. And it literally decapitates you because it has the ability to throw a leaf like a goddamn saw blade, and you're dead now, and it's probably making a nest in your corpse. Bro, the Pokemon world would be insane. I mean, Ditto is the only good part about technically being in a Pokemon world, but you know, it is what it is.
And see. The second one is La Chimera. Check this out. This is like a sci-fi first-person shooter set in like a futuristic Latin American country.
Ah! The fuck is this? Oh! Oh, wow. Jesus, that one's for the history books. Okay, guys, this game is already a failure. I mean, this already
Like a
like look at the look at this.
check this out. This is like a
Look,
sci-fi.
yeah, like this vomit. I got tattoos for no reason because I'm badass. Was kind of like I wanted to pause and say, "Oh yeah, this is a bust already. I can feel it."
First-person shooter set in like a
But what is this?
futuristic Latin American country. This just looks incredibly unique, but also with some
Bro, that's not a Latin American person, okay? I can put all my money I have that is not a Latin American person.
crazy high production values, really cool weapons, action scenes. This looks like something I would probably like to play through. Also, a really creative idea. This is The Last Caretaker. This is kind of like a crafting management survival sim, but it's essentially on a giant boat floating through the ocean, like a tanker floating through the ocean, and you're the only robot on the ship,
Ooh,
essentially tasked with keeping things going. Really creative stuff here. This next one is It Was You. This is kind of like a first person murder mystery style game. So if you're into those like murder mystery dinner party things that apparently
Jesus.
happen, but I don't have enough friends to be invited to
And we're out.
these, then this is for you. Also, Edge of Memories, not too much to go on this one yet, but a cool art style. It definitely looks like you're building a party and doing some RPG style stuff. But also check this out, Blades of Fire. This looks like a third person action game, and it looks like video game 101. The main character of this looks so much like video game badass guy. It's awesome. It feels like a throwback to the 2000s.
Yeah, it's one more Souls-like game. Yeah, it is.
Curious to see how the gameplay really goes down with this, but Blades of Fire is dropping this year. It's May
Oh yeah, that's definitely Dark Souls and shit.
22nd, 2025. Also, I saved my favorite for last. Check this out. This is Terminator 2D No Fate. I cannot express to
2D.
some of you guys how completely my shit this game is. Just look at it. This looks like the Terminator 2 game I like imagined or I really wanted to have as a kid. This looks absolutely incredible. From nailing
Yo!
scenes to the visuals, everything here just looks so fun, and I cannot wait for this one. I'm sorry if I'm like hyping Shilly for this, but this is really cool, and I just love Terminator a lot. As of right now, we know that this is releasing in September, so that is just something that I absolutely will be playing.
Okay, that's kind of fun, but I don't know.
Next up, some stuff this week you should check out. The first is the fact that Monster Hunter Wilds has released. If you're jumping in, have a good time hunting some monsters and shit like that. I did do the before you buy for this. It went up earlier this week, and I found the game to be very good. It is absolutely more Monster Hunter if you're looking for it. They have streamlined.
Yeah, people like Monster Hunter Wilds. That is true. Not even a hot take. Whatever. Anyway, that was Game Ranks 10 out of 10. Bye.